Today, I'm going to be talking about the June edition of CoroCoro Comics, which features the new Animal Crossing manga. Now, I thought that this video was going to be pretty straightforward, just talk about the manga like I've done before, but it turns out it's kind of complicated what's going on in here. So, originally this was announced as a one-off manga for this edition. However, sometime before they published this book, they decided that it's going to be a serialized manga because of how popular the game is. And it's kind of referenced inside here, this change. And another part of this is that there are two CoroCoro books, two separate magazines, coming out within the next month. They're going to feature Animal Crossing manga as well as special presents. And so because of that, even though I'm talking about this edition today, I'm also going to be talking about the future ones because I honestly think they're a bit more interesting considering they have these special presents, and they're going to be a bit more geared towards Animal Crossing because of how popular the series ended up being. So it's a kind of confusing, but I'm going to try my best to explain everything. And first, let's just start with this edition. Now, I've talked about Animal Crossing manga in the past, because there's already an ongoing series through Chow magazine. And I did check the newest edition of Chow at a local bookstore. It's still ongoing. They had some game tips going on in there, but they didn't have any kind of special present for it. And even though there's two separate manga series going on, the style is definitely different. You can probably tell from looking at the covers that the target demographics are quite different, and that definitely shows through in the manga. CoroCoro is definitely aimed more so at young boys. You can probably tell that from the graphics. There's definitely a little bit more of like toilet humor, that kind of stuff. And there's also, if you can notice, quite a few franchises that you can probably recognize in here. I'll talk a little bit about them later. So to start off, I'm going to talk about some of the game tips. First, we have some kind of custom patterns that say CoroCoro on them, and they also have some other kind of design tips for the games for players. One thing I thought that was interesting is they show some cushions stacked up. I wasn't sure, can you actually stack cushions in the game? Or is that a special thing that you have to craft? I've never seen that before. Anyways, they also had another custom pattern. They showed how you can make your town into kind of a murder mystery theme, so that was kind of fun. And then one last thing they just had on here, talking about games, and they showed Animal Crossing right at the top to show how popular it is. Okay, so next I'm going to be showing off the manga. Now up here at the top and the bottom, it says how this is a one-shot manga, and at the end of the story it also says the end, whereas all the serialized manga in here says to be continued. But it also says after that how, because of the popularity of the game, that this is going to be serialized. And this was written by Kokonasu Rumba, who also did the 4-panel Yokai Watch Gera Gera manga theater, and also did art for the Duel Masters trading card game. And over here, it says how the super popular Dom is in the story. And in Japanese, Dom's name is Chatsumaru, which I like. I think it's a very cute name. I feel like Dom is more popular in the Japanese community from what I've noticed. I don't know if anyone else gets that sense that Dom is more popular in Japan, but Raymond seems to be a lot more popular on the English side of the internet. I'm not sure if that's just my sense though. Okay, so next I'm going to go through about half of the manga that's here. Because this is a one-shot, I don't want to give away the whole story because I don't want to get in trouble. But I will be going over a bit to give you a taste of what it's like. This is a story about having your own home. I'm Koroyuki. I live with my friends in a tent in a deserted island. Tamnook. Have you all gotten used to deserted island life? You. This is the sound effect for something being like tightly squeezed, like a tight hug, being packed in. There's so much stuff. We can't just get rid of any of these. And here we have some character introductions. There is the rich, proper lady, Himepoyo, who's holding a samurai suit. The study-loving Benben, who is holding a stadiometer. And the snot bubble technician, Gu-chan, is holding a kokashi doll. And over here, we have the Peach surprise box. You aren't going to use any of those. You can't just leave things like this. The island's rating's going to go down. In that case, let's build our own home. Hey, I'm Dom. Who? Or rather, why were you in our tent? I moved here, but it's been lonely being by myself. So I was in here. That's why it was so tight. If we build a huge home, that's all of everything. Our own home. That's true. If you want your own home, Tom Nook over here will. Time to collect things for our housing! Roger! Space reserved for housing. They're not even listening. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of a taste of what the manga is like. Sorry that my narration skills are not very good. And also, I skipped over this before, but here we have a comment from a reader of CoroCoro who says, Animal Crossing is fun! So, if you were on the fence about the game before, you should listen to Yuto over here. He knows a thing or two. So, the rest of the story, that's about half of what's in here, kind of continues on here. I thought it was pretty fun. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like once it's serialized, because this was just intended to be a one-shot. Next, I'm going to show a bit of what to expect from the July edition of CoroCoro Comics, which is this book. So over here, we have it advertised that there's going to be a poster in the next edition that's going to show some of these summer fish and bugs. And as well, there's going to be the new serialized story of the manga, and there's also going to be some more custom designs that are featured, such as this lovely outfit. And this is kind of fun. In the back, they talked about the new serialized manga that's going to be coming out this month, including Animal Crossing, and they show a little bit of a preview. Here we have Al saving a bug, and here we have the main character buying some new clothes. So that'll be nice if we get some more special characters. I noticed that in the manga here, I noticed that before, none of the characters here showed up in the manga besides Tom Nook, which is a little disappointing, but I would assume that in the next coming months that they would be showing up, and I really like Father's here breaking out the spider. And this is the page that I kind of skipped over before, and this is pretty similar to the other colorized page, but it does say here that the manga is coming out June 15th. And we also get a little bit of a panel, a little preview what's to come. Here we have CJ, and he has a phone on a fishing rod, it seems, as the character thinks in his head that, oh, it's not a fishing rod, it's a selfie stick. So that's what we should be expecting, I suppose, in the next one. Okay, now here's what I'm really interested in, I think. So there's separate versions of CoroCoro, and one of them is CoroCoro Ichiban. And this one that's coming up May 21st is going to have a couple of special things with it. It's going to have a booklet, a separate booklet of 4-panel manga about Animal Crossing. And it's also going to have some kind of card game with Animal Crossing characters. And it doesn't say anything about this being serialized, so it's probably just going to be a one-off, but I thought that was pretty interesting. You do get a little bit of a preview of a comic here called Tom Nook's Past. And this one is by a different author, and it's actually by Osaki Rohei, and he did the Animal Crossing New Leaf manga for CoroCoro Ichiban a few years back, so it's the same person if you're familiar with that previous manga. And now I'm just going to go over what's written here. Nook Inc.'s president, Tom Nook. Hello there. The president, wow, that's so cool. Oh, it's nothing. By the way, how many home runs did you hit before becoming president? You're a baseball player, right? No, I wasn't. What? But you're always carrying this thick bat. I can't get it off. That's my tail? So that's, I guess, what we can be expecting for the 4-panel manga, but we'll have to see. I'm still very excited about it. And then, in the back of the book, we just have a few more references to what I mentioned earlier. It really just kind of says more or less the same thing. This book was a little bit disorganized, I found. It made it a little tricky for me to kind of make notes and also keep flipping back between things, but I figured it out enough. There's also another CoroCoro book that's coming out that's going to have some Animal Crossing game tips in that one. That one I'm probably not going to pick up, to be honest. I'm not as interested in. And also, at the end over here, if I can make sure I get to the right page. For one thing, again, we have an advertisement for the next copy, but also on the back we have an advertisement for an Animal Crossing sticker book that's separate. Oops, I thought I was finished. I forgot to show these. So these are just some little extra goodies that came with the magazine. First is this Fortnite player's note. And what is just a little notebook. We can take some notes in there, play Fortnite. Alright. And next is this separate comic. Now, the reason I wanted to show this in particular is because I'm wondering if the Animal Crossing 4-panel manga will be similar in size to this kind of idea. So we'll have to kind of see if it ends up being like that or not. And next we have this. That's alright. And finally we have this cool Kirby artist sticker. Pretty nice. I like it. That's it. Now, as I touched on a bit earlier, there is a lot of different manga going in here that's very interesting. Some things you might recognize would be a manga about Kirby, Splatoon, Minecraft, Doraemon, Mario, Zoids, Don't Sleep Through Life, Pokemon, and apparently, next month there's going to be a Fortnite manga in here, so there's quite a bit of interesting things going on. Something else I thought was kind of cute was that this series had some references to Animal Crossing in it. Here he has some crafting, and then this character is trying to become a live streamer, and another character in here starts playing Animal Crossing during one of the live streams, so I thought that was kind of fun. I just kind of quickly flip through the book for you. Ooh, you get kind of a sense of what the manga is like. So a lot of interesting things going on in here. I haven't read too much of the other ones quite yet, but I'm going to try to take the time to read through them. So I do think that I am going to get the next 2 editions that are going to feature Animal Crossing manga and special presents with them. So look out for those in the near future. If I end up deciding not to do one of them, I will be posting it on Twitter, so look out for that over there. Other than that, thank you for watching the video. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to write them in the comments. Be looking out for them. And otherwise, I hope that you enjoyed the video. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.